Yeah,
but right
well, then
now,
they should pay a price for propping up Putin's war machine. We should crush their economy.
Okay, so tell me about that. So with the sanctions bill that you all are working on, you have a veto-proof majority. You just need the Senate leader to put it to a floor, and you need the president to tell him go. What are you waiting for?
I think the president should call on the Senate to vote approval of the Russian sanctions bill literally tomorrow. He's on his way tonight to the G7 meeting. He will be sitting across from world leaders. Right now, very bluntly, the perception may be one of weakness in terms of America's position on Ukraine. He can be there in a position of strength. This bill will pass overwhelmingly, has 84 evenly divided co-sponsors. It will get 90 votes on the floor of the Senate. This moment cries out for presidential leadership. There is an urgency here. We've seen the neighborhoods decimated, people killed in their sleep, women and children shot in the back of their heads and buried in mass graves in Bucha, children who are kidnapped and re-educated, 20,000 of them behind Russian lines. These atrocities are ongoing, and the people of Ukraine are bleeding and dying. So I am hoping that the president will affirmatively show leadership here and call on the Senate to vote. The majority leader could do it tomorrow. We have some technical issues to work out. But I really think the moment has come for President Trump to call on the Senate.
But Senator Graham, President Trump tweeted yesterday that he did speak to Vladimir Putin, who called very nicely to wish me a happy birthday and talk about Iran. He said they're going to speak again this week. President Trump has put sanctions on Iran while talking to Iran. Why won't he put sanctions on Russia while talking to Russia?
We have sanctions on Russia.
Not new Trump sanctions. You know that.
So I find it odd. So my Democratic friends are holding him back when it comes to Iran. We really appreciate you trying to do diplomacy. What am I saying? Do diplomacy with Iran until it doesn't work. What am I saying with Russia? I don't mind you. I don't care if you go on vacation with Putin. I don't care how it ends. I want the war to end so we don't start new wars. I want Ukraine surviving when the war ends. I want Putin not to be overly rewarded for the invasion. To China, if you stop buying Russian oil cheap and India, the war machine would grind to a halt. President Trump has tried diplomacy, and I will say this. I talked to him last night. You've made very sincere efforts to get Putin to the table. I think he's playing a game with you and the entire world. It is now time to change the game with Putin. I talked to President Trump last night. Stay tuned. If we do not have a breakthrough soon, I would expect that these sanctions will move through the Senate and the House. And to China, if you want your economy ruined, keep buying Russian cheap oil. If you want to be a new nation in the eyes of the civilized world, change your behavior regarding Putin and the Ayatollah. Until you change your behavior, you're going to be seen as a problem, not a solution. So these sanctions are coming if Putin doesn't change. And to my good friend Dick, you've been a great ally. If we can't get the Ayatollah back to the table, it is now time to end his nuclear program using military force jointly with Israel if we have to. If we get Iran wrong, good luck with Russia.
Senator Blumenthal, the bill that you put forward will put a 500% tariff, as I understand it, on imported goods from countries that buy Russia's oil, their uranium, their gas, other products. It'd hit China, it'd hit India. U.S. is also trying to negotiate trade deals with them. Is that getting in the way?
I think there is really no obstacle to our moving ahead with these bone-crushing sanctions.
Even if oil prices spike because of what's happening in the Middle East?
You know, we are now energy independent when it comes to oil, the United States. Europe has weaned itself off Russian oil. We visited with President Macron. We've talked to Chancellor Merz. Europe is solidly behind these sanctions. And we've incorporated flexibility in this bill based on our national security for a potential waiver where our interests are concerned unforeseeably or unknowably right now. We've incorporated exemptions for our European allies who are aiding Ukraine in the billions of dollars, giving them a little bit more time to adjust. This is a
They get
carefully
20% of their
constructed
gas
bill.
from Russia, right?
What he says, there's three categories. If you're not doing business with Russia, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're doing business with Russia, but you're helping Ukraine, you have a carve-out for 270 days. If you're doing business with Russia and not helping Ukraine, you're screwed. The president can waive part of all of this based on our national interest. But to the people who wonder, should we pay a price for our freedom? We have in the past. Go to Arlington. Oil prices will go up if we confront Russia through our bill. Oil prices will go up if we try to confront Iran for their nuclear ambitions. But you pay now or you pay later. If we get Iran right and we get peace with Russia, Ukraine, not only do oil prices come down, the world will be better off. So this idea of having freedom and not sacrificing never existed, nor does it exist now.
Senator, I want to ask